Hello and welcome. My name is Robert Cabeca, and I am your meditation guide this evening. And tonight, what I thought I would do is share a little bit of sitar and a little bit of chocolate as well. And I have been a chocolatier for many years, much longer than I've been playing the sitar, but I have been meditating for decades, and I love guided meditations. And I love bringing the sitar into my guided meditations as well as chocolate because as I have been, I guess, a chocolate teacher, an educator for at least 15 years, I have discovered that people taste chocolate best when they have slowed down. And so I wanted to give people the opportunity, people like you, the opportunity to taste chocolate and to slow down and experience a gentle guided meditation using the sitar and allowing the exploration of all of our senses. And I think that I am hoping to create something that's just magical and unique. So, what I'd like to do is start out with just a few short breaths and just a body awareness. And then we'll look at a couple pieces of chocolate and I'll show you how to taste the chocolate. And we'll taste the chocolate and we'll let that experience of the chocolate guide the rest of the meditation. And it doesn't matter really which kind of chocolate you choose as long as it's a favorite of your chocolate and it's something that you really enjoy savoring. So that is the goal. Okay. And so what I'm going to do here is just set the lovely sitar down. It's my favorite instrument in the world. And I'm going to pick, I haven't decided which one I want to taste yet. If you saw my kitchen, you would see a humongous selection of chocolate. So, like I said, we're going to first do a couple deep breaths and then we'll do a body scan. We'll pick a piece of chocolate to taste and then we'll meditate with the sitar using the full experience of tasting the chocolate, letting that guide the meditation. Okay. So, what I'd like us to do is just, sit comfortable, lie comfortable, and just take a nice little relaxing, slow, deep breath and allow that breath to just go from the tip of your toes to the top of your head and let it flow down into the tips of your fingers. And you can just let this breath go any which way it chooses to. You don't have to control it. In fact, it's better if you don't. Okay? So just take that nice, gentle, deep breath and allow it to flow throughout your entire body. Mm. And take another nice breath that you allow to flow throughout your entire body. And if you notice that there's any tension in your body, you can just invite it to relax if it chooses to relax. We don't want to force anything to happen. We just want to extend a gentle invitation to any part of our body that chooses to relax. And just one more breath. Okay, lovely. And we're going to choose a piece of chocolate. And as a chocolate educator for many years, I I have a preference for my own chocolate. And some of my preference for my own chocolate are darker chocolates. Most of the time, when I am craving a sweet tooth, I'll go for a milk or a white. But I have this one from French Broad Chocolate in Asheville, North Carolina, one of my favorite chocolate makers on the planet. and this is their cocoa beans from Guatemala. Soma chocolate maker in Canada, brilliant. And this one is the cocoa beans of this one are from Vanua, Fiji, and it's just one of my personal, like, don't try to take this away from me, okay? And then Beyond Good, obviously you've probably seen this one a lot at many grocery stores in your local market and things like that. And this one's a 92%. The Vanua is 70%, and the Guatemala is 73%. And I think that I'm gonna go with something really dark here. And you can again choose whichever chocolate you want. And there are 5 stages of tasting chocolate. And the first one is to look at the chocolate. You want to make sure that it's in good condition, because chocolate will bloom. It'll get that fuzz on it and stuff. That's not mold. It's just the cocoa fat separating from the cocoa solids. Okay. And we don't need a very large piece, as I just broke off a humongous piece here. I'm going to cut that in half. Okay. And so you can look at it very nicely, and you can see it's got a little bit of a shine to it, which is lovely. And then you heard me snap it. It had a really nice, crisp, clear snap. And what these two things tells us is that the chocolate was well made. In other words, the makers paid attention to the chocolate making process enough so that you could get a really nice shine to it and a really nice crisp snap to it. That tells you that the chocolate was tempered properly. And the third thing that we do is we just simply rub it between our fingers. We do want it to melt just a little bit. And as I rub the chocolate between my fingers, it'll warm up. I'm in Maine and it's snowing outside. It's like 18 degrees. So I'm warming up the chocolate before I taste it. But we want to do this anyway, because you'll begin to recognize that that releases the aroma. Oh my, that's just lovely. It's very fruity. And this chocolate bar has no added ingredients. It's got just cocoa butter, cocoa solids, a little bit of sugar, and a little bit of vanilla, which is typical for most chocolates. And so as you rub the chocolate together, you'll be able to start to smell the aromatics of the source of the chocolate bean, the cocoa beans. Okay, and then what we then do, what I'm going to do is tell you what we're going to do and then do it so I can stop talking and do it, and you can do it with me, and I'll play the sitar, and then we'll just kind of allow ourselves to experience the chocolate, because chocolate will start to melt in our mouth. We'll start to notice it at the tip of our tongue, and then the back of our mouth, and then the middle of our tongue, and then the back of our throat. And as that happens, as the cocoa butter melts and distributes the flavor of the chocolate throughout our mouth, it goes up into our sinus cavity, and we really start to get an experience of it. And then as that experience happens, we begin to experience it throughout our body, because it feels good, right? We get all kinds of wonderful, delicious feelings when we taste something that's really good. And as it's doing that, then I'll play the sitar for a little bit. And then after my chocolate's completely melted, I'll do a little bit of a guiding meditation, which I love to do. Okay, so hopefully you have your chocolate. You've rubbed it between your fingers a little bit. You got a little bit of a smell, aromatics of it. Okay, and now let's just go ahead and taste. And you just want to melt it. You don't want to bite it. You don't want to chew it. You just literally want it to melt at its own pace. Some chocolate melts really quickly, which means it has a lot of cocoa butter. Some chocolate melts very slowly, which means it doesn't have a lot of cocoa butter. And that's just fine. There's no right or wrong or good or bad to it. Just enjoy the experience as it unfolds for you, and we'll go from here. Okay. I did just break it in half because it was a bit big with my teeth, so it'll melt a little bit more. And just enjoy the melting. And as it melts, notice any flavors that show up. Notice any sweetness, any bitterness. Bitterness is not bad. Mm. And as it melts, just let the flavor of the chocolate just expand through your mouth. And just enjoy the experience. Move it around with your tongue a lot. Notice the aroma that you get. Notice the sensations that you get. Notice any texture. Is it smooth? Is it creamy? Is it gritty, grainy, sandy? All those are fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just notice what it is. And you'll notice that as we bring awareness to the tasting of the actual chocolate, you'll find yourself paying attention to your body much more. And as you pay attention to your body much more, you'll begin to notice what's going on in your body. And you'll notice how the melting of the chocolate disperses sensations that you get to experience in unexpected locations. And there's no right or wrong. We just want to notice. We don't want to control it. My chocolate's taking a long time to melt. And now I just got so much fruit, like deep raspberries almost. It seems like we're like tart cherries. And almost like kiwi out of it as well. The cocoa beans that were used to make this chocolate are from South America and I believe Colombia, which tends to have a little bit of a fruity overnotes to it. Not all chocolate has fruity overnotes to it, and you might taste something completely different, and that's perfectly fine. Just allow yourself to taste the chocolate, allow it to melt, allow it to expand through your body, and pay attention to what's going on in your body. If you notice any tensions in your body, give it permission to relax. And you'll notice that chocolate melts so gently, so gradually, and it just seems to disappear into our mouth, into our body. And isn't it interesting that any tension that we experience elsewhere in our body can do exactly the same thing? So just allow any tension you discover to just melt away back into your body, just like the chocolate's melting in your mouth. You can breathe in whichever way is comfortable to you. You might want to take some gentle, slow, deep breaths to help with the relaxation process. If your chocolate's already melted, you may want to allow yourself an additional piece. Who can resist a second piece of chocolate? The melting of the chocolate is such a wonderful, lovely, direct metaphor to the melting of tension in the body. And that's why I love doing this particular kind of guided meditation with the chocolate, with the body awareness, with the beautiful, delicate sounds of the sitar. It is my favorite instrument on the planet. And again, just noticing your body, giving your body permission to just relax. Any tension you notice, you're just inviting to melt away, just like the chocolate melted in your mouth. Just such a lovely, delicate experience. There may be some tension that just doesn't seem to go away when we want it to. And sometimes that can bring us a reaction to that. Maybe some disappointment or frustration or some expectation that there's something wrong because that tension's not going away. And that's not completely accurate. Tension is always just trying to give us information. And all we want to do is let that information flow, because once that information flows, that tension can relax right back into the body where it came from. It's kind of like if you've had your fist held really tightly for a very long time, and all the energy that's used to keep your fist really tight can't be used for anything else anywhere in your body. So that's a restriction of that energy. And what we want to do is allow that energy to flow so that energy can be used for other purposes. So again, just any tension you notice, invite it. Give it permission to relax if it chooses to, because we don't want to force it, because that just creates more tension. Just allow any tension to relax, as if you're looking at a small cloud up in the sky, and that cloud slowly disperses back into the atmosphere from which it was created. It's the same thing with the tension, just letting it go back where it came from. It means us no harm. And again, if you'd like to choose another piece of chocolate and allow the experience to melt in your mouth, to melt away, just as it melts away all the tension that's happening in your body. And you'll notice that it doesn't take any energy at all for chocolate to melt in your mouth. And it's the same thing with any tension you experience in any muscles. It doesn't take any energy to allow that tension to relax. You just let it relax, little by little. Not forcing it, not demanding it, not expecting it, just allowing. You can take a couple deep breaths again if you like, in any way that suits you. I like to breathe from the tip of my toes to the top of my head, and then just let it expand all throughout my body to the tips of my fingers, in and out, just like all of awareness. There are no boundaries to awareness, and there is no agenda to awareness. Just allowing awareness to flow in and through us, so gently, so effortlessly, requiring no energy to do so. Just allowing it. What a beautiful gift that we have to relax, to enjoy the relaxation in so many different ways. If you notice that there is a particular tension that is welcoming the invitation to melt away, but is not yet melted away. Allow that tension to associate itself to the bending of the cord in the sitar, which means that sometimes you might need a little bit more tension in that spot to tighten it up in order to relax it. And that's what I like about the sitar, is that allows sound to bend. Just like tension can bend. And you can just allow the tension to bend before it decides it wants to completely relax. And if you'll notice that the sitar makes some delicious sour notes, some bitter notes, as I like to call them, just like some chocolate can be bitter. And I find that to be helpful to releasing any tension that's somewhere in my body, because it surprises the tension. It's not expecting it. And we can just let that tension relax in its own surprise. I'd like to give us a couple minutes of complete silence. Take a nice, relaxing breath in and throughout your entire body, allowing the breath to flow in and through your body in any way it chooses, without controlling it, without directing it, letting the energy of the breath fill and nourish your body in and throughout. Any tensions, any concerns that may be weighing on you, allow us to provide another invitation for tension to relax and melt away, just like the chocolate melted away. Any concerns to relax and set aside for the time being. Allowing yourself to nourish yourself from deep within yourself, from that place that's unharmed, from that place that's untarnished, from that place that is unhurt and undamaged, deep within us. There is that purity that exists, and we can invite the energy of that location deep within us to extend and expand in and throughout our entire body, gently, slowly, in whichever way it chooses, without controlling it, without expecting it, without demanding it, knowing that there is a place within inside us that really, truly is at peace. And we can allow ourselves to connect with this location deep within us at any time we choose, to continue to nourish us, support us, provide us the necessary resources to navigate all the challenges we experience in life. Some of the challenges we can control, many of them we cannot, but that doesn't leave us helpless, and it does not leave us as victims. Deep within us is the source of our own true, authentic empowerment that radiates through us, charges us, fills us up, supports us, and allows us to show up for every aspect of our life, no matter how challenging. We are not weak. There is a place within us that is supported by all power, all knowledge, all awareness. Allow yourself to learn how to connect with it, how to allow it to flow in and through you. How to embrace you. Learning, once again, how to love ourselves from the inside out. And we can relax and take another deep breath here. Allowing that breath to flow in and through us in any way it chooses. Okay. Namaste. And thank you for spending time with me this evening. And thank you to the comments. Odette, I have the chocolate here. You could have used any kind of chocolate you like. And I'd like to just kind of recap the process so that you can do this yourself. And basically what that is to find a piece of chocolate that you like and to first break a small piece of the chocolate off, rub it between your fingers, smell it, experience the aroma, place it in your mouth, and allow it to just melt. And as the chocolate melts, so can the tension in your body. It doesn't require any energy for the chocolate to melt and distribute through your mouth, just as it doesn't take any extra energy to allow tension to relax and disperse back into your body from where it came. And I look forward to being able to do this meditation again. It's my goal to do it on a weekly basis. I plan on doing it at the same time each week. So next Tuesday at the same time, if you'd like to come back, you're more than welcome. I very much appreciate your being here. I appreciate your time. I have other meditations on. I appreciate the gift of your presence, which you are welcome to explore. I appreciate the gift that you bring into this world. It wouldn't be the same without you. If there's any donation that you would like to make, I'm thank you so much and grateful. And I appreciate your time. And I appreciate the gift of your presence. And especially, I appreciate the gift that you bring into this world. It wouldn't be the same without you. So, namaste. Thank you so much.